we're going to be talking a bit about recruiter enablement today and technology in particular. So, Michael, for anybody that missed the first of these interviews that I did with you, give us a quick introduction to you. Who are you? Tell us about your background.
Yeah, Michael Glenn. I'm here in Atlanta, so I have a conference I do every year. Do two, actually, one in the spring and one in the fall. Got one coming up in the spring. It's called Employer Branding EXP, and it's obviously for employer branding and recruitment marketing, also for anybody in talent acquisition that would like to attend. In addition to that, I am an employer brander myself. I have worked in technology and healthcare, primarily, mostly in IT, but prior to that, many years in recruiting. So that's it about me. So yeah.
Great. Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to talk about technology first. So, what are the three sort of areas of recruitment technology that you see as essential for recruiter enablement?
Yeah, right now I think it kind of really starts with just these three things or three areas. Really, it's the CRM. Um, yeah, I think a lot of recruiters definitely rely on the ATS, and of course, you've got the big ones out there, the enterprise level ATSs that they use in their day-to-day work, which is fine. But recruiters that are working in these ATSs also have to kind of think a little bit more like salespeople, marketers, and sourcers all rolled in one. And for me, that's kind of where you need to leverage like the CRM, because that's the best tool to kind of work in sort of those three functions, right? As a sourcer, marketer, even as a salesperson. And the CRM is part of that recruiter enablement that allows you to build those relationships. And I feel like where the value add for recruiters moving forward is how well they know the various CRMs that are out there, right? That's also a skill set. That's an experience that I think a lot of recruiting leaders are going to be looking for, is how much involvement in these types of CRMs that they're, or how much experience do they have in a lot of the CRMs that are out there. Um, I guess another one I would say as well is just the AI powered tools and platforms. We really have to embrace automation. And I think if you go back and look at recruiters, there's a trust factor. We've been told that there's some automation, but we never really trusted it because we felt like we could just do a better job at it. But now we're getting to a point where we can start really trusting that automation. As we start really embracing automation, we're going to have to learn how to take the data that we have and put that into the LLMs and develop, get those data sets and put that into the LLMs. And that's going to eliminate a lot of those mundane, repetitive tasks that recruiters always complain about, whether it's like scheduling interviews or maybe even like just doing that initial recruiter screen or reference checks, stuff like that. So AI automation, that's another big area. And I think the other third part of it really is just the kind of the ATS. We have built our lives around the ATS, and I think that's kind of not going to go away. We have to embrace the applicant tracking system as being that centerpiece, that technology, and that's really so that we can track the candidates, pull the reports, and really move the candidates through the process. So a combination of those three areas. I know that's kind of technology type tools,
Yep.
platforms, but those are really what I see that in order to kind of like have this recruiter enablement, that's where we are, right? That's kind of where we are as a whole, as a talent acquisition, as a profession. So
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier that recruiting takes inspiration from sales and marketing, sourcing. Um, Marketing isn't particularly associated with recruiting from a business perspective. So how is that really part of like enabling recruiters today?
all right, so yeah, that's a good question. I think, well, I won't say I think, I know for a fact that for years, recruiters are doing the same thing when it comes to, marketing, I guess, right? We do the same messages for outreach on LinkedIn, and we spam a lot of people too. And it's just
Yeah.
a lot of bad habits that we've had over the years. Um, and we really need to change to more of a marketing mindset. And really, what I'm talking about is more like a recruiting marketing mindset. Um, and that's part of that recruiter enablement is not really so much the training of it, but it's really like adopting that mindset, and then using the technology that enables the recruiter to function as a recruiter, but also kind of work as a recruitment marketer too.
Yep.
So they really need to understand a lot of the, for me, when it comes to marketing and recruitment marketing, you've got those fundamentals in marketing like product, promotion, place, price, all that kind of stuff like that. When we talk about recruitment marketing, you're really talking about something very similar in those fundamentals in marketing, those four P's of marketing, right?
Yep.
You've got the product, which is the company itself. It could be the job
The
opportunity and
job.
the
Yep.
work culture tied in. Price, compensation, benefits. Place, it
Yep.
could be, where's the location, also hybrid, remote, all
Yep.
the all those sort of fundamentals of marketing and thinking the mindset of a recruitment marketing come into play here is what I'm talking about. And so
Yep.
how we leverage sort of that kind of critical think or that mindset along with the tools that we have. That's what I mean by, being more like a marketer.
Yeah. Got it. So you mentioned tools. What are some of the recruitment marketing tools that you see as essential for enabling recruiters to do a great job?
Well, yeah, nowadays we got the obvious ones with the ATM, the CRM, but those platforms that we have now, I'm sure they allow you to have a lot of customization in there to go in there and build out like templates, job descriptions, and stuff like that, right? For me, I kind of feel like we need to, as a whole, for talent acquisition, is go beyond just some of the things that you do every day in the ATS or in the CRM, like I just mentioned, those job descriptions,
Yeah.
but start embracing more external platforms like for employee advocacy or employer branding, or I'm sorry, employer brand ambassador programs. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of them out there, and we're starting to see a lot more emerge. So for a recruiter, that's what drives it, right? It's not the employer brand. They kind of create the employer brand team sort of creates the toolkit. It's
Yeah.
really the recruiters that drive the employee advocacy. They have the relationships with the hiring managers. The recruitment marketing team doesn't really so much. They do, but they don't. And it really, that's where when I'm talking about some of the other tools that we need to look at, is employee advocacy tools where recruiters could come in, understand how this platform would work, help push things along with hiring managers and other recruiters to kind of push out that messaging out there across social media or even on their ATS. Another area I kind of think too really is the AI agents. We're going to getting to a point where it's just going to be embedded into our operating system. We see that with Copilot and Gemini. So understanding how you can build your own AI agents, maybe to create a better email campaign or an email, strategy that you want to use for a particular type of candidates that you're targeting. So those are types of tools and platforms and methods I think that recruiters need to leverage a lot more of, and that's part of that recruiter enablement as well. So.
I don't think we're living in, I don't think there's ever been more dynamic times in recruiting and in recruitment technology. So, Michael, thanks so much for that, like high level overview. What's your call to action? What should people do from here?
What should they do from here? I think, well, for us as talent acquisition professionals, keep rapidly up to date with
Yeah.
all the changes. Don't just sit back and wait for somebody to come in and show you, be proactive in
Yeah.
learning. Attend, come to Employer Branding EXP and learn
Yep.
something. Come to, to your shows and to your podcast, learn things, continue to discover new ways that you can kind of reinvent yourself. I think that is very critical in the future. Also, the tools that are there now as they kind of evolve, it will be up to you to really understand like the best of breed of applications or maybe the best of breed of AI agents that are out there and how you can get those integrated into your everyday work. And I get it. There's a lot. I don't want to go down too much of a rabbit hole. I get there's a lot of it out there, and recruiters have always complained, well, I've got too many logins here and there and stuff like that. I think you still need to focus on the critical platforms where you do your day in and day out of work, but don't just stop there. Branch out a lot more, make yourself more skilled and more future proof when things like layoffs happen and stuff like that, for yourself. So anyways, that's my call
Yeah.
to action.
Great. Sign up for Employer Branding EXP. Check it out. And Michael, thanks so much for joining me again. Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks, Adam.